and welcome to episode 17 of the On a Family Based podcast. My name is Jake.
I'm Dallas.
And I'm Ben.
There we go. And we got a new order because Dan's not here. So, but again, we're not used to it. It's brand new. So, this is the baseball podcast where we take a trip around the bases, talk about what's been going on, and we actually have something to talk about. We have actual games that matter. So this past weekend was opening weekend, and did you guys catch any games either on TV or in person?
Yeah, I was
Dallas?
at.
Oh, Ben.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, forget it. I need Lucy to Dallas takes this one.
All right, Ben, why don't you go? I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good. I went to Cubs opening day, so I got to see them play the Brewers. It was a lot of fun. It was a crappy weather, which is why I don't see why they don't try to get like the teams above the Mason-Dixon to play the teams south of the Mason-Dixon. You know, just for the weather aspect. But you know, the Cubs won, and that's the most important thing. So
Yeah,
it was great, and we'll go into it a little bit more later. But yeah, so I saw opening day, and then I watched the Rockies Dodgers, the second game of their series, and then I caught some bits and pieces of other games, but nothing too crazy because we had a busy weekend. So
yeah. How about you, Del? Did you watch anything?
I'm glad you asked. I actually played in something.
Yeah?
Yeah? Since you're laughing so funny, it's called The Show. And
me too.
Hit a couple home runs, so it's no big deal.
Nice, man.
But read them and weep. Now, I watched a little bit of the encore for a couple of on Saturday. Saw a little bit of opening day because I knew Benny was there, but it was only in passing. I had drill this weekend, so I was busy for day games and stuff. So
yeah,
but nonetheless, excited baseball's back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I was actually, as you guys know, I was in Toronto on opening day. That was so Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I was technically in Toronto, and then I was driving back to Chicago on the weekend. So because I couldn't watch any, because you know what? Let me air out some grievances right now. Airbnbs having no cable. I'm like, bro, what's
Step
going
their game
on?
up.
What are we paying for? Yeah.
Right. What's the deal? Where's the beef?
Anyway, so what I did was I got a free trial of the MLB TV. So I got to watch opening day for the Cubs on my phone.
Nice.
But I got to watch that. My mother-in-law has Apple TV Plus, so I got to watch Friday Night Baseball.
That's what's up.
Which we'll talk about Apple TV Plus. I watched a couple games as well. Since I was in Toronto, I made sure to check in and see how Toronto was doing. And I was supposed to be at Toronto, the Blue Jays opening day Friday night, but I have a 6-year-old, and their game started at 8 p.m. So no go.
Yeah, that's tough.
But we'll get into that in a second. So the opening weekend was fun. But did you guys watch anything else besides opening weekend? You guys watching any TV or anything like that? I know, Ben, you said it was a busy weekend. Did you get to watch anything else?
I'm trying to think. I've been watching a documentary on Amazon, so that's been pretty cool. But beyond that, yeah, I haven't really had time to sit and do much.
Yeah. Anything for you, Joe?
Benny, what was I watching?
You know, Teletubbies.
Yes, that's an
Yes.
obvious. That's a given.
Yeah, Taxi Cab Confessions
I like that.
and Mona Lisa Smile.
Mona Lisa Smile. Backdoor
Of
Patrol
course.
4. So what? Oh, actually, I watched something called Level 16 on Netflix. It's
No idea.
So that movie about the elevator you've been trying to get us to watch for 2 years.
no. All right, first off, that's called The Platform,
Okay.
and an amazing reflection and social commentary.
You should watch Snowpiercer. It's better.
Yeah.
Ryan
I
Reynolds
know
is
it.
in it. It's great. No,
I'm out. I'm out already.
he's not in it, but it is
Yeah.
a good movie. The Platform. Level 16 was it's a suspense thriller.
Hmm.
Not going to get into it.
All right.
Watch
All
the
right.
trailer.
No, Jake. I
Just gonna,
watched. I watched that movie called The Bubble too. I forgot that. I went
Oh,
how was
to
that?
cool.
Viz on Sunday. It's funny, but it's weird, man. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to explain without like giving away stuff. But
Yeah.
it's really funny, and then there's a lot of cameos, and it's good. You
Okay.
should guys check it out. It's only 2 hours, so
That's the one about making a movie?
yeah. While in the bubble during COVID.
Okay. Cool.
Mm, cool.
Yeah, that would be fun to check out.
I got to watch this documentary on Netflix about this Canadian crypto king who at the age of like 25 mysteriously died. So that was my fun, watching a mysterious death.
That
And
is fun.
people losing a lot of money. So anyway, let's move to the actual topic of the podcast, and that's baseball. And since we're all Cubs fans, why don't we always start off with the Cubs, the recap from the week? In this case, the recap of the Cubs opening weekend. So the Cubs were scheduled to play 4 games: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The Friday game was postponed due to rain. The first game that Ben got to go see, the Cubs won 5-4. Saturday they won 9-0, and then in
Yeah.
game 4 Sunday they lost 5-4. So that was a pretty good opening weekend.
I'll take it. Anytime you take 2 out of 3, you're gonna win more games
Against
than
who we
you
all
lose,
suspect is going to win the Central.
or compete with the Cardinals. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
except for me, but the rest of you.
I mean, Ben's guess was that the Cubs would win 97.
Dude, 95 more wins. You gonna tell me we can't do that?
They're almost there.
Yeah.
It's
There's
promises.
158 games left. We can't win 95 of those. Come on.
I mean,
I mean, historically speaking.
Come on.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely see if they can win 95 more.
We'll revisit
But
this in time.
what was that, Ben?
I said we'll revisit this in time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that prediction will be talked about monthly, if
Pretty much
if
every
that.
week. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So one piece of breaking news, because we are recording on Monday. Pitcher Keegan Thompson was suspended for 3 games, and the manager David Ross was suspended for 1 game, and that was because Keegan Thompson allegedly, I think it's pretty obvious he did on purpose. He threw and hit Andrew McCutcheon, and then his suspension is for that, and David Ross is for his activity after, in the scuffle afterwards on the field.
In the
Kerfuffle.
scuffle. Kerfuffle.
Yeah. So I don't have this number offhand. Let me see if I can look it up. But Ben, if you can remember, do you have any context for this? Why would the Cubs throw at the
Well,
Brewers?
the Brewers threw at 3 Cubs this weekend. I know they hit Contreras twice, and I think they hit somebody else. So I think the idea was just like, you throw at our guys, we're going to throw at your guy kind of deal. Baseball's
Obviously, not.
wonky with their unwritten rules. The whole thing. So like, McCutcheon, I don't think he was even necessarily mad that he got thrown at. I think he was mad that Keegan first threw some pitches that were balls. Like he wasn't gonna, if you're gonna throw at a guy, you throw at him right away to start the at bat.
Keep
So you
them
don't get
guessing.
him. You don't let him. Yeah, you don't let him get settled in
Suspenseful.
the at bat, especially when you know what you're gonna do. So like he threw some pitches and then started throwing at him, and that's what I think McCutcheon was most mad at. But like Contreras has been hit 15 times or something like that by Brewers
It's
pitchers
ridiculous.
over his career. So it's like, and I kind of like that the Cubs are sticking up for themselves, especially early in the year. It kind of sets the tone for the whole season. You're not going to let people, throw at your guys and let them, push you around or whatever. Especially a team that's supposed to be like Dallas said, the front runner for the division and all that kind of stuff. So, it was just kind of like retaliatory. You threw at our guy, we're going to throw at your guy, kind of deal, and that's just basically what set it off. And then, like, I don't know. It was exciting because we had been drinking by that point. By the time I saw the replay of the people running out of the dugouts at each other, or like
Okay.
not even running, just slowly walking towards the first
Yeah.
baseline.
Yeah.
My last thing I'm going to say is I would just hate to be a bullpen guy who has to run like 500 feet to just stand there because there isn't a fight, but you also have to stick up for your boys, So it's like you're
Yeah.
going to run in, but you don't want to because, it's not an actual fight. Like when Amir Garrett ran at the Pirates' entire dugout, like fine, you run out of the bullpen, you start swinging, like because stuff's going down. But when there's guys just arguing with each other, it's like, okay, why do I have to jog my fat ass all the way out there for nothing? So that's it. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was interesting. It was like I said, I like it. It's a good way to set the tone for the season. I think that you're not going to get bullied around by anybody.
So you like it? You like the back and forth hidden
Yeah,
people?
absolutely.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially if they're going to continue. Like Contreras is supposed to be our best player at this point, right? Like you can't just throw at our guy and not expect anything to happen. And I think that's what Jason Hayward was so mad at too, because he was like the main guy, the main Cubs dude that ran all the way
Yeah.
out from center, and he was just like
They
sticking
were
up for
not
his guy.
having it.
No, but yeah. So
Yeah. So I mean, I have a different take on it. I understand throwing at guys for sure. The one thing I would say is Andrew McCutcheon did come out and say he knew he was going to be thrown at. Everyone knew. But the problem I have is that it became such a big deal when he was hit in. Now, I mean this in the nicest way. He was hit like in the one spot that's like okay to hit someone.
hit him
Right.
in the
Right in
ass
it.
or like the thigh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hit him in the butt. Like,
yeah.
dude, like, it's not at your face. It's not at your knees or your ankles.
But
Like,
like
it's
how
in.
Alonso
You're
got hit,
okay.
he got hit up in the shoulder, and that thing ricocheted off his
Right.
C guard.
Jeez.
It wasn't that. Like I would take a fastball. I mean, look, realistically, I don't want to get hit by
Right.
a
At all.
fastball over like 60.
I mean,
So
that
that's
hurts.
yeah. So like I'm good. You can not hit me in the ass. You can not hit me anywhere. I'll just take a walk. Like just walk me and be mad at me instead of
Right.
hitting me.
All right.
But at the same time, yeah. I mean, the Cubs were right in hitting him in the tuchus instead of the ear hole.
Yeah.
Tuckus.
Yeah. I mean, Francisco Lindor got hit in the face this weekend. Like, it wasn't that serious. Like, just take your base. Like,
Yeah.
you're okay. But I understand. Anyway, so
Take your base,
So,
sweetheart.
but that's not even one of the main things that came out because
Hold on,
that news came
real
out.
quick. Sorry. We might
Yeah.
have breaking news. I think Harper might need Tommy John. He got hurt. He was in the outfield pinching his elbow, real bad.
Ooh,
Yeah,
really?
and they just took him out. Yeah, I just saw it on
Wow.
Twitter. But anyways, yeah. What were you saying? Dude, because that sucks.
I mean,
Didn't somebody pick Harper
yeah.
to win MVP?
Well,
It was
wasn't
probably
me.
Dan. Dan picked it and then booked it, so we couldn't give him a hard time.
Classic Dan move.
The animal, come on.
Should have listened to us.
Yeah, but I mean, how about Ben? Why don't you look that up on Twitter as we keep going?
Check it out. Yeah, we can.
Some breaking news. So, again, from this weekend, the Keegan Thompson suspension and the kerfuffle, if you will, that ensued afterwards was not even the big story that came out or the big story that happened. So, why don't we just get it out the way? The first thing is Seiya Suzuki made his debut for the Cubs starting in right field. Now, in his 3 games for the Cubs, he went 3 for 8, 6 RBIs, 1 home run. That was a bomb. And then he also had 4 walks. So
his plate discipline was unmatched. Really, though.
I
say
mean,
that sounding like a joke, but it was fantastic.
What
was the stat? 26 balls were thrown, and called accurate, or like 2 weren't called accurately or something, and then 1 that he swung at was I don't know, it was just some crazy. Did you guys see that? You sent it.
I've not. But
Benny?
But all I know is that in Seiya Suzuki's first at bat against the reigning Cy Young winner Corbin Burns, he walked on a full count, which again for someone making their debut first at bat, it was really great to see him just not be too excited and strike out whatever.
Right.
So when Hestu and I were at the game, a couple things I noticed. One, Jake, I just sent you the tweet that I saw, so you can check that out about Harper. But when I was at the game, a couple things I noticed. One, no Brewers player got booed harder or longer than Christian Yelich, even though he was terrible. He's been terrible the last 2 years. He's bad now. He's still bad. But just sustained boos his entire at bat. So I love that. That was great. That's number one. Number two,
love that.
When Suzuki came up, I had to, like, Hesu and I were, so it's like empty seat, and then our 2 seats, and then right on the stairway, right? So I would get up and stand in the stairway and just watch his at bat, like trying to like isolate myself, So he draws the walk, and then he gets a hit, and I was just like, man, this is great. This is great. It was almost as exciting when Kosuke came up.
Yeah.
His first game was against the Brewers off Gagne. So Gagne had just gotten to Milwaukee, and it was this whole thing, and then Kosuke hits like a double in the bottom of the 9th to tie the game or something like that. It was nuts. But I was like, this is like making he's going to be a Cubs hero, a Cubs legend after this.
Yeah.
And Suzuki's had a really nice weekend. We'll see, how it goes over time, because how pitchers will have film and books on Suzuki, just like and so you hope Suzuki makes the adjustment and learns to hit pitching at a continued pace. But I mean, he got off to a hot start, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, so Dallas, that stat, I just found that stat. So Seiya Suzuki was throwing 29 pitches outside of the zone. He took 28 of them. 26 of them were called balls. 2 of them were called strikes. His 1 chase, he hit an RBI single.
There it is.
So, yeah, I mean, that's what you would like to see
out of any ball player, but this is going to be his rookie year in the league. And granted, he's not a true rookie, but this is his first time going up against MLB pitchers, and that's just a fantastic start, I'd say.
So, as Cubs fans, can we just get too excited and make a bold prediction rookie of the year?
Oh,
yeah. Hands down. I mean, it's easy when he leads the team to 97 wins. He gets a lot of
and when he becomes manager,
and pitching coach, not hitting coach, but pitching coach.
That'd be fun.
That would be wild. They should have Otani do it. He can hit and he can pitch. The Angels are paying 2 extra people. Let him be the hitting coach and the pitching coach.
Oh my gosh. That's a take I have not heard. All right, so also for the Cubs, their pitching was actually not bad. So, game one, Hendricks, 5 and 1/3 innings, 1 earned run, 3 walks. He has 7 strikeouts, but the more important stat is he gave up 0 home runs.
On a day that it was really windy, blowing out to center.
And that's big for Kyle Hendricks. He notoriously gives up a lot of home runs, especially in the first inning. He didn't against a decent lineup, not the best, but a decent lineup. So that was game one. So game two was again after the postponed game. Justin Steele, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 5 Ks, and then it was a complete game shutout. And this really cool stat was the 4 pitchers who pitched for the Cubs that day. All 4 are homegrown players.
Love that.
Which is great for the future for sure.
Absolutely.
So again, Justin Steele that game, and then the closer or the end of the series, Marcus Stroman made his Wrigley debut. 5 innings pitched, only 2 hits, 1 earned run. He gave up a home run, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, but a pretty good first time pitching at Wrigley.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime, I don't think he took the loss, right? Didn't we cough it up later?
No. Yeah.
Yeah. So, a no decision's great because that means you kept your team in the game. And, 5 innings is basically what you expect the starter to give you nowadays. So,
right.
All things considered, I would say pretty good debut.
Yeah, it was a pretty good weekend. I would say that, but I think as Cubs fans, as we look at just 3 games and we get really excited about it, and even as this is gonna air, there will be even a game on Tuesday and then a game Wednesday, so you may be hearing it before the game on Wednesday. That Ben apparently might be going to. We'll see. Right?
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, so hopefully maybe you'll listen to this before the game on Wednesday. But it's a pretty good start against the reigning division champs. Pretty good.
Especially, and like you said, the AL or the NL, one of the front runners for the Cy Young last year.
Well, the Cy Young winner in Burns, but then Woodruff as well was up there too, and then even their Game 3 starter Danny Peralta is pretty good too.
Yeah,
so that's
Woodruff was terrible, but
yeah, he was.
I don't know if it was the cold or what, but he couldn't throw strikes, and it was brutal. But I'll take it. I don't care. He could lose every game for the rest of the time. That wouldn't bother me any.
Wow. Yeah. That's some empathy right there.
Until he's on the Cubs, then I want him to go 32-0 on 32 starts.
Right. So, Ben, are you, again, I'm going to come back to it every time we mention it, every time it's relevant, but are you stuck 197 or you think maybe less or more?
At this point, they might never lose again.
Wow.
No. 97, that's what I'm sticking with. I don't back down. I might be wrong, but I'm going with it. That's, this is America, baby. We don't back down. These colors don't run.
Hopefully they don't bump themselves into a 10-game losing streak right now.
That would not be ideal. But...
Yeah, that was rough last year. The Cubs big losing streak. Let's hope that doesn't start.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, we're all calling it right now. even just with 3 games. Seiya Suzuki, Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the year,
Easy.
boom, write it up,
Boom. Boom.
book it.
All right, so the Cubs were not the only team to be playing this opening weekend. So, what I would like us to do is just to share a storyline that we liked this past weekend in baseball. I'll start us off because, as I had mentioned, I was in Toronto for opening weekend, and I just came back. But
We get it. You
again,
traveled. You're cool.
I
Get your
mean,
passport filled out.
yeah, yeah. I would not want to spend money on getting a new passport again. That was not fun.
No.
But anyway, so I did go. I was in Toronto, but again, as I mentioned, I was supposed to go see the game Friday. Their opening night in Rogers Center in Toronto. But Ben would have loved the first 3.5 innings. The Rangers were beating the Blue Jays 7-0.
Gang.
But the Blue Jays came back and won that game 10-8. So
Sorry.
suck it.
It's all right. You know, every team loses. The Rangers
Like,
are gonna get theirs. Don't you worry.
they're gonna lose a lot.
Probably. But it's all right, man. Like I said, you don't back down. These colors don't run. Red, white, and blue. Cubs and Rangers. Notice a trend, my guy?
Wow. I did not, but thank you.
There you go.
So the one again, that storyline of the Blue Jays, I did not announce this on a podcast, but I swear there's a picture of me actually before opening day is that I did pick the Blue Jays to actually win the World Series this year.
Oh.
Yeah, so taking 2-3 against Rangers, their lineup looks stacked. They're hitting bombs. They have great pitching. Even if their pitching's off, they can score a lot of runs really fast. So the storyline I picked up on was that my prediction of the Blue Jays winning it this year might actually come to pass. And as if you're watching on YouTube, I'm wearing not only a Blue Jays hat I got there, but also a Blue Jays sweatshirt. So
And Blue Jays underwear.
I mean, not that far.
Thong. Blue Jays thong. Jake show 'em.
Well, here we
Shake
go.
that thing.
Let me get out my wheelchair and show
There
you.
you go. Just bring the camera around.
No, thank you.
No, the best thing I noticed was Friday. We went into Homewood to start Dan's weekend, or maybe it was I don't know, whatever day it was, Saturday. I don't know, but the way that the White Sox lost with Javi hitting that ball to the outfield and Pollock missing it by inches and then bouncing into his glove
Yeah.
was perfect. It's a great way for the White Sox to lose.
Was perfect.
Giolito got hurt, which for them isn't ideal. So now they have Lynn hurt, Giolito hurt. Cease pitched well for them. But yeah, I mean, White Sox, the way that they lost on opening day was hilariously perfect, and I hope a trend that follows.
Made Benny happy.
That's also a game I watched live. So that was fun. That was a good game. But I did pick Dylan Cease from the White Sox to win the Cy Young. So
Yeah,
as long as that comes true, I don't care.
there you go.
So, the rest of them can get injured. I don't care if they break their arms. Get in motorcycle accidents.
I am not hoping they break their arms.
But real bad splinters or paper cuts or something, you know?
Yeah, at least on their throwing hands.
Right in the web of their finger on construction paper.
Oh, bro, that's
With the construction
worst.
paper, the thick paper, you know? That's how you get them.
That's how you get them.
So you're saying in between your fingers?
Oh yeah,
right here.
Construction paper, web of the fingers. Boom.
What's a worse paper cut, in between your fingers or on a knuckle?
In between the
Dude,
fingers.
for whatever reason, the knuckle always stings. It always stings the most. Probably because you're bending it and like you're not letting it heal. You know what I mean? Like you're constantly moving it. So I would still say web of the fingers is worse, but I don't also like paper cuts on my knuckles, if that helps.
I don't think anyone does.
Oh, there's people that do, Jake. All you gotta do is like Google. Just Google paper cut, and you're gonna get some weird stuff.
Those sickos.
I am not looking that up.
We don't suggest anybody else look that up either.
No. But my one quick take is, because I'm in a wheelchair, I have to use my hands pretty much a lot. Anytime I get a cut on my knuckle, it is horrendous. I'm like trying to wheel without squeeze. It's like I'm like pushing with 4 fingers. It is very subjective.
You got to figure out a way of getting like an adaptable, like little piece on there. So when you do cut your fingers, you can just virtually drive it with one hand, so you don't have to worry about wheeling it. $1 billion idea. You're welcome.
I think that's called a power wheelchair, and those things are super expensive.
Okay.
And super heavy.
They are really heavy. My old man was in one for a while, and I think when we were moving out of that house, it might have taken 4 or 5 of us to lift just the base.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
I know that's nutso.
So Ben, noticing the White Sox losing is their storyline. So that's nice. Dels, is there something that stuck out from this weekend? Could be the Cubs.
Yeah, dude, that the Cubs won 9-0. Like, I thought that was tremendous. Like, it was just awesome. Seeing them win 2 out of 3.
And it would have been 3 out of 4. But Poseidon or Jeff, whatever Greek god is in charge of the weather, was like, no.
Oh. I'm pretty sure it's Kanchu.
What'd you just call me?
No, it's like Kanchu, god of the moon. But
okay, that's who's in charge of weather?
Yeah, why not?
I didn't know Pikachu was in charge of the weather. All right, that's cool though.
I mean, if we're saying Poseidon, whatever, Pikachu could be there.
All right, let me ask you this. This is not written down. This is not one of our topics, but I'm going to
do it.
Who's your starter Pokemon? When you guys got Game Boy and you plugged it in for the first time, who was your starter?
Charmander.
I definitely. Go ahead.
I always went around. I never was stuck with just one.
You were never okay. I think I was Squirtle because I definitely wouldn't go Bulbasaur.
I think that was my first one, was Squirtle. Dude, nobody does Bulbasaur, man.
Nobody. Those little tentacle smack, just like pow pow.
Dude, and I was just about to say that. Like, that was the question. It's like, is it Charmander or Squirtle? Because nobody messes with Venusaur.
Dude, he looks cool though, right? He looks cool. I mean, Blastoise is the best looking third generation, whatever. I don't know what they're called. You know what I mean? Evolution. Go ahead.
With the evolution stone or whatever. Dude, his most, at least from what I remember, man, this is a throwback, but his 2 most powerful moves, one of them was like a super punch, and then the other was like the legit, like the graphics were just bubbles flying at the other guys. Like, what kind of what are we working with here?
Poison bubbles. Dude, do you guys remember Pokemon Snap? How great of a game that was?
No.
You don't remember Pokemon Snap on 64, bro? You'd go flying around this island in like a little car, like on a track, right? And a different Pokemon would pop up, and you have to just keep taking pictures. And you had like endless number of Pokeballs, so you could keep launching them, right? And I remember in the first level, if you hit Charmeleon right, into a volcano, he evolved into a Charizard, and he got the pictures of Charizard, bro. Sick.
What?
I don't know. Yeah, dude,
What
this
is
game was
this game?
legit. I don't know how you don't remember. It was incredible.
Yeah, dude, you legit like the whole game was literally you just taking pictures of Pokemon.
Throwing endless
Nothing.
Pokeballs, and then taking pictures of them.
Taking pics of Pokemon.
I mean
that was the game.
that's. I'm gonna say I don't.
This is pre-internet, like streaming with other consoles and stuff. So like, you would legit take pictures of the Pokemon and it'd be stored only to your console. You're not sharing that with anybody. You didn't have a camera phone to be.
No, you had to wait till your friends came over so you could show them the photos you had saved.
Yeah.
And imagine how cool you felt when you got to be like, dude, come here. I need to show you something.
Look at this jiggly.
Fires up to 64, loads up the pics. It's like, here you go. This is it.
Oh my gosh,
dude! But then, do you guys remember Pokemon Stadium? Is what it was called.
Yes.
That was a game where you could actually battle like with your decks or whatever, or decks. You know what I mean. However, it worked
with your Poke, dude.
No. Explain it. Explain it more.
Was it a Poke deck? Pokeball? Poke deck? Poke deck sounds right.
And they come out.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying like you would have yours and I would have mine, and we would link up on a N64, and then we would play, and we would take turns, like alternating moves. But the graphics were terrible, but they were mind blowing at the same time because you actually it was off of the, Game Boy screen and onto
the memory pack.
Yeah. The massive 24-inch tube TV you had.
Dude, yeah, because you're not going to use the family's TV, which was a solid 32 inches. You're not using that one. Not
45 inches thick. It's like that.
Oh, dude, at least.
Did you remember the ass on those old tube TVs? Jake, we're getting way off script, but do you remember the ass on those old tube TVs? They were like 80 pounds dead in the back. You had to have two people just carry the back just so one person could hold the screen. Now, one person can carry a 70-inch TV just over their head.
Like moving, that was probably the hardest. That's why you would need to invite friends over to help you move.
Yeah.
It's just for the television set back then. And then God forbid you have a big screen. God forbid you actually have 50 inches.
Oof. Good luck. You had to hire a moving crew just to move your TV back in the day.
Oh, dude. Our cousins were big back then.
Gosh.
That was one thing, dude. We never were short on movers. My family moved to 47 houses in Homewood alone. And we always had people helping. And I was just thinking about this the other day. I used to do everything I could to not help. Like hide behind boxes or
hide in boxes.
Come up with games so that like Viviana and I could just run around the house while everyone else is carrying stuff. Great. The levels I would take my laziness to is unbelievable. Last little tangent. I was talking to Viviana about this the other day. We used to have chores on Friday, right? Like my mom would say, get everything done Friday, bathrooms, vacuum, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I would go through the hassle of plugging in the vacuum, leaving the marks on the carpet to make it look like I vacuumed, but I didn't want to turn the vacuum on to physically vacuum. So I did everything but actually vacuum the floor.
So you fake vacuum.
Yes, yeah.
You could have just turned it on.
I could have, yeah, but I chose not to. I thought it was a better plan to plug it in and then leave the wheel marks on the ground than not actually
turn it on.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
It's actually not lazy, dude. That's just spiteful, dude. Like you did the work. You just didn't turn it on. Like
I was gonna ask Ben, why plug it in?
Right.
Dude, I wasn't a smart kid. I'm not lying. But I don't know. Maybe I thought there was a way she could tell. Like if there wasn't like little rope marks on the carpet, like she would know that I wasn't actually moving it. I don't know.
The snaky rope marks.
Yeah, dude. It was the early 2000s. Vacuums were a whole different beast. You got vacuums that go by themselves now. You know what I mean? Roombas are a thing.
Oh no, dude!
I was the Roomba.
First off, that's true, and it still scares me that we're one day closer to Judgment Day because the vacuums are doing it.
Terminated.
But also, dude, like the vacuum set that the Gonzaleses had water in it, and to this day, why?
Was it a steam vacuum? Was it like a steamer?
Do you know? there was a water reservoir that would wheel around with the vacuum, and the water reservoir would be like the dirt bag that most normal houses would have. So after any time you'd vacuum, you would need to pick up sludge of whatever it was that was on your carpet. And it
cat
was
hair,
just,
dog hair for you guys.
I would gag, dude. It was disgusting. And then when Dad would do it, I would just see him just scooping it and just flip. I'm just like, oh.
It was like dirty. It was dirty jobs with Mike Rowe, but cleaning out the Gonzalez vacuum sludge.
The vacuum sludge, dude. It's indescribable why we would invest that route versus somebody must have tossed it and we were just like, oh, here we go, free vacuum.
Yeah,
I blocked that out of my memory, but
you're welcome.
The vacuum with the water.
It was so gross, dude. You'd be like, you guys got a vacuum? I'm like,
no.
Like, I'll just sweep real hard on the carpet. That'll be fine, right? That's the same thing.
It's almost like it was tempting just to myself on the carpet.
Yeah. Exactly.
Building my immune system.
Do some lines, just
just with straight, shoe residue and leaf crumbs and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and we always went outside and played outside, so that thing must have been horribly disgusting. So often.
Terrible. I don't understand it. I wish we can find out the company that produced that vacuum just so we can write them an email, or they probably haven't even caught up to the email stage. We need to write a letter or a fax maybe.
Someone's got stamps. Anybody got stamps we can stick on?
Just a quick, just they'll open it up, be like, oh, we got some mail, and then it'll just be a letter, literally, just why? Question mark, and that's it. No return.
And they'll know.
Nothing.
They'll know.
Hopefully, if they take out enough for a ad time on TV, to answer these questions that we've been.
So we went over Ben talking about Pokemon.
Yep.
Ben talking about fake vacuuming while plugging in the thing.
Remarkable.
Yeah.
And then our disgusting water vacuum.
Water vacuum.
That's how you do it, baby.
Not to be mistaken with Whataburger. Water vacuum.
Yeah.
Gross. Way grosser.
This episode could be titled Water Vacuum.
Water vacuum. I think it should be.
Yeah.
It's good. I think that's a good one. Dan will be confused. He'll be like, what happened?
We literally replaced Dan with a water vacuum.
No.
Listen to the take.
We're gonna start. We're gonna fill it up with water. We're gonna do everything. And we're gonna plug it in, and we're just gonna leave it. We're not even gonna turn it on.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
That'll take Dan's seat for a while.
That's how you do it. I'm telling you. Oh next time your significant other tells you to vacuum, guys, just plug it in and pretend. It makes time go by so much quicker.
Plug it in and pretend,
dude. Because then you do a bad enough job that she then doesn't ask you to do it again, and then you don't have to.
No
marriage tips.
No. That is not a marriage tip. That's a divorce tip.
Yeah,
dude, that's like
just don't let my wife hear this part.
That's like them asking you to clean the window. You go getting the Windex and the paper towel, rubbing the paper towel on the window, but because you didn't spray it.
yeah. And then it's still dirty, and now it just has paper towel marks on it.
It's just smudgy.
Yeah, you just move the dirt around.
But it's got the smudges, so it looks like you tried. But yeah, dude, that's great. We should have done that at the country club. Just rub the paper towel on the mirror.
See if Chuck noticed it's just the vacuum lines, but no actual. There's still dirt and grass all over everything.
There's still chunks of the fairway on the carpet.
Dude, I still vacuum like that though. Like my vacuum has to have the same
little triangles.
Yes, yeah. Isn't that weird?
Thanks, Charles.
Yeah. Shout out Chuck wherever you are.
Charlie Murphy.
Ah, man, I'm glad I was only there for a summer.
What a summer it was, though, huh?
And what a summer!
Yeah.
Wait, Dale. So I don't know if Dave told you. Side note, real quick, Jake. Sorry. He saw Mr.
He saw another side note.
Yeah, he saw Mr. Manning the other day.
Oh wow, he's still kicking.
Yeah, I was and Dave's like, he looks the exact same. And I was like, all right, that sounds about right.
That's awesome.
But anyways, go ahead, Jake. I knew
it's the cigarettes that keep him young.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Everyone thinks you got to eat healthy, whatever.
Yeah, exercise. Nah,
Nah, Mr. Manning proves otherwise. Jake, go ahead.
nah.
No, I mean
Take it away.
this is a side note episode, so
Yeah.
That's
what
the
else?
title. Side note.
Yes. Side note, we're gonna talk for most of this about vacuums and not
Main
clean.
note. Big note. It's exciting. Baseball's back. Let's just be happy about that.
Yeah.
Dun,
You
dun,
know,
dun.
no, I think Ben, you responded to this, but this is going to be our third base topic. Is there's a couple new options to watch baseball either on TV or streaming. Ben, did you respond saying you watched Friday Night Baseball?
I did not. No. So Friday night, I don't know what I was doing, but I know that it was a thing. I don't even think I have Apple Plus. Like I'm sure because
Yeah.
we have iPhones, so I'm sure I have it available. I never looked into it. Like when it first came out, there wasn't anything I was streaming on Apple Plus or whatever, so I never
Yeah.
got it. And then, now that baseball's around, I completely forgot it was even there. But for me,
So-
because I don't have traditional cable, I do whatever games on Amazon Prime for free. And then
Nice.
McNeil was trying to get me his MLB TV login. So I was going to hopefully get that and then try watching games that way. But.
Cool. Yeah. I have Apple TV Plus through again, I feel like we're disclosing that we're using someone else's stuff. I'm not sure if that's even a problem. My in-laws had Apple TV Plus, so I watched both Friday night baseball games, like half and half. And I'm going to say this, that listening to it was like half personalities and half actual reporters. So it was actually fun to listen to and watch. So
That's cool.
Oh, nice.
and that's actually a good change for baseball.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think you need to have more fun personalities to make the game more fun, you know?
Yeah, so I watched the late Friday night baseball game was the Astros at the LA Angels, and there was MLB Network play-by-play, Katie Nolan, Hunter Pence, and a sideline reporter. It was by far the most fun I've had. On the flip side of that, the least fun I've had watching baseball was watching the new K-Rod show. Did you guys? All right, I'm gonna guess you didn't watch it, but
I didn't check it out.
did you guys even see anything on Twitter about this?
I don't
What day
tweet.
was it? Was it Friday, Saturday?
No, it was it was Sunday Night Baseball.
I don't know what. No, we were. I had dinner with my in-laws, so no, I didn't. I
Oh.
wasn't watching.
All right, well, count yourself lucky. Apparently, on not only did I bared through like 3 innings of it, but then all over Twitter, and they were actually showing these tweets during the game. They were getting roasted. A-Rod and Michael K were getting roasted so much, and they put it on TV for them to read.
Jeez. Remember, I said this in the beginning. I didn't think A-Rod was personable enough to make that an interesting watch.
He's
You
not.
know, and so I was, thinking. I just didn't think it was gonna be fun or enjoyable. And sure enough, from
Overall, just a bad
everything you're
experience.
saying, it sounds like it wasn't any of those things.
I will say one positive, and then I'll keep going. The one positive is that if you're genuinely just solely a baseball fan, like an actual like hardcore fan, I think you'll like it somewhat. But if you're looking to have fun, if you're looking for laughs and all, not even I will openly say this: the one time I've watched the second inning through the fifth, and it was by far like it was so easy. It's so easy for me to now say I don't ever want to watch it again.
Really?
Wow.
Definitely.
It's that
It
bad,
was,
huh?
but so when I watched, I had missed apparently David Ortiz was their first guest, but then the second inning there was no guest. Third inning they introduced Roger Clemens.
Hmm.
So they have Alex Rodriguez and Roger Clemens, both with allegations of steroids, and they asked them point blank about this. It was so weird. It
Uncomfortable.
was like am I watching 60 Minutes or am I trying to have fun watching baseball?
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, that would be something like outside the lines type, like when ESPN goes serious and they do like serious topics on stories and all
Right.
that. That's definitely, it seems like the wrong, if you're trying to
Wrong
introduce
setting.
kids or you're trying to get someone into baseball, but it's not into baseball, reliving, and it's not like you shouldn't talk about it. Obviously, that's not what I'm saying, but
Right.
it's like
Right.
having these guys up there and nobody knows who they are. They're not talking about fun stuff. They're not, I could see how that would be a bore. I mean, and you said it yourself, you're a diehard baseball fan. You didn't even enjoy it, so I can't imagine a casual fan being able to sit and watch and enjoy it. But I did
Any of
remember
that?
two stories from opening day. I want to tell you real quick.
Mm.
Dallas already knows one of them, and I'll tell you real quick off the air because it's wild. But the story I can tell is Hester and I are walking down towards Wrigley, like center field, where they knew, or no, behind home plate, where they put that whole new little like outside
Yeah.
little like area. And Cliff Floyd comes walking out of a building after he just finished filming something for, I'm guessing, MLB TV or whatever, because that's
Yeah.
who he works with.
Yeah.
And he came swinging out of the building next to him, or next to me, and I was like, "Huh, that's Cliff Floyd." That's cool. And I didn't want to bother him and be like, "Hey, I know you." Like, stop him in the middle of
Right.
the street because
Right.
there's people
I know
behind
you.
me, and then they see it, and then it becomes a whole thing. But I was just like, "Oh, that's really cool." So years and years ago, we were at a Portillo's, right? Me, Dan, our family. We're at a Portillo's, and Dan and I are like next in line to order, and I kind of just like look behind me, and I recognize this dude. So I look at Dan and I go, "That's Mark Burley. He's
Mark Burley.
standing like like a foot and a half behind us, like right there." And he goes, "No, it's not. You're an idiot." And he didn't even turn around and look. He just said, "No, it's not."
That
I could have been
sounds
like,
good.
"Dude, that's the Pope." He could have been in the Pope mobile with 50 dudes around him. Dan would have been like, "No, it's
No.
not.
No.
No,
No.
no, I don't know." Yeah. So I was like, "That's Mark Burley." So whatever. He ends up sitting down. We have our dinner. And I'm gonna throw Viviana under the bus because she's a little weirdo. But after he left his garbage on the table. She ran and stole his cup. So in our house on 100, one, where it was. Um, we had on our we had like this little bookcase that had White Sox memorabilia in it. Mark Burley's cup and straw was in that little memorabilia case.
Really
Why?
creepy. It's really
That's
creepy
what
of
I'm
you guys.
saying. And I was a Cubs fan at that point, or I was nearing, and I think that might have been what pushed me over the edge. I was like, you guys are a bunch
How
of sick
creepy
freaks
of
over here. I'm out.
bunch of weirdos.
Have you guys any had outside of the club? Because I know we all kind of met some athletes at the club. Have you guys had any celebrity encounters like that outside of?
Bumped into Frank Thomas in an elevator.
Dude, that must have been the biggest elevator because he is a huge man.
Check this out. And I felt like I was crazy, right? So I'm in Peoria
You
for
are.
drill. And we're getting ready to go out, for the night. And so we all I meet up with everybody on the floor.
Were you already lubricated at this point? Could it have not
Already.
been Frank Thomas?
Ready to go. Actually, no, we walked in from the lobby. We were going up to our room. And so we get in the elevator and this dude walks up and gets in. And I'm like, and this dude is like towering over me. and he's beef, and I'm looking at him. I was like, this dude looks really familiar. And then I was like, oh my god. I was like, that's the hurt right there. But nobody else recognized him. So so the elevator stops before our floor. So I assume it's his. And so before he gets off, I'm like, hey man, it's nice to meet you. And he just goes, thank you. And we shook hands, and he walked off.
How big was his hand?
Dude, golfed, just a baseball mitt. Just took mine in, and so
you ripped his arm off.
Dude, the doors closed, and I turned to my buddy next to me. I was like, "You know who that was?" Like, and he's like, "No," and I'm like, "That's Frank Thomas." He goes, "Who is that?" And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "That was Frank Thomas. He was in the same elevator as us. He stood right next to us. This is like pre-COVID and stuff, so like no one's wearing masks. So it was super easy to identify this man, and it just blew my mind. I was like in Peoria, Illinois.
All places.
What are you doing here? So I found out there was like some baseball tournament going on, and like they had him as like the guest or something like that. So
cool.
It just blew me away, like out of nowhere at some Holiday Inn at Frank Thomas. Wow,
dude, that's like when we got Lou Brock's autograph. Remember when he did something? Yeah, with Rachel. Like Rachel had a softball tournament.
Yeah,
he was the guest for that. Yeah, I remember his fingernails looked like dinosaur nails. That's the only thing I took away. He had big hands for being not a big dude, right? But I was also younger, so maybe his hands were more normal size. But
right,
I mean, I wasn't that much younger because we drove back, so we had to have been at least 16, 17 at the time.
That's really that's half your lifetime ago, dude.
Yeah, but how big do your hands get? In 16 years.
They're ours. Like our hands haven't grown since then.
Maybe. Jake, what about you? Have you ever met any? Have you ever met any athletes or any celebrities or fun people?
I don't know. Why don't we get back to talk about hand size? That'd be fun.
Hey, Kenny Pickett in the NFL. That was a huge story for weeks. So they said his hand had the smallest hand size in the NFL at 8 inches, and that's 8 inches like thumb to pinky. I know you're kidding, but now I'm already on it.
I was.
So he started doing hand stretches to make his hand bigger. And it went up 1/8 of an inch. So his hands are 8 1/8 inch now.
Okay,
so,
cool.
I just re-caught you up.
Cool. Wow, if I just did that too much,
Jake, don't be hating because this man's hands grew.
You got big hands, bro.
Oh my gosh. All right. I do not remember meeting anyone. Maybe I have, but no, I don't think so.
I mean, do you remember meeting anyone at the club?
I don't think so.
We always had like Misericordia, which Fisk was always there, so it was cool seeing him there.
I don't think so.
I remember on Mikey's first day, we met Kukoc, and he had a duck to get into the shoe room. So he was obviously he's like 6'10", so he had to like swoop down, and I think he tipped us $5. So straight, let's go.
That's the most important part.
Yeah. I mean, he's a millionaire athlete. It could have been more than $5, but whatever. I'm not, eat the rich. That's all I'm saying.
Eat the rich. Wow. All I remember about Kukoc is Chuck said he was a booger picker, and he flicked it. He was sitting in those big.
He was a flicker,
and apparently, he picks his nose, and flicks his boogers, dude.
So as a podcast, we're saying NBA Hall of Famer Tony Kukoc. 2 things: he's cheap and he picks his boogers.
Hey, that's what Chuck Schreiner says, not Dallas Gonzalez.
No, I mean you're saying that.
Our sources indicate. Chuck Schreiner as our inside source.
Charlie Schreiner.
I don't know. But the last thing I briefly want to just mention and talk about, because it's important, is that this Friday, April 15th, will be the 75th anniversary of Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier on the Brooklyn Dodgers. So this is the 75th anniversary. And again, it's coming up just this Friday, April 15th. So very quickly, I want you guys to I don't know who wants to take it, or if both you want to say something. But how important was Jackie Robinson coming into the to baseball? How important was that?
Jackie Robinson's my favorite player ever. Um,
Hmm.
so I remember, I don't know what it was, but at a very young age, I remember being drawn to three people, right? And obviously, you'll kind of pick up on the similarities between the three, but it was Abraham Lincoln. I was fascinated with Abraham Lincoln. I think it was like a pride thing. He's from Illinois, whatever. Plus, he did an amazing thing for people.
Yeah.
One was Martin Luther King Jr. Again, an amazing person who went out of his way and lived his entire life at the service of others. And then Jackie Robinson was the third.
Hmm.
The one, I mean, he had to endure so much hate, so much vitriol from people, and all he wanted to do was play baseball and provide a life for people. He ended up being this martyr for this greater cause, and it took probably years off of his career and years off of his life as well, the stuff that he had to go through, both physically and mentally. So he's always been the kind of person that I've like been drawn to. The year that we coached 13-year-olds back in the day, like we weren't 13-year-olds, but we coached a group of 13-year-olds. I purposely picked
Correct.
number 42 that year for that exact reason. I think it's the coolest thing in the world that every MLB team has that number retired. It's a small step because MLB, you can look at the entire history of the league up until the point where Jackie Robinson made his debut, and it's terrible and it's disgusting, But at the same time, you look at Robinson coming in, and without him, you don't get the heavy influx of Latin players. You don't get Roberto Clemente, who then opens that door and kicks it down, and baseball is forever changed by the Latin ball player. And then the Asian population, the Asian ball players, they don't get a chance if the Hispanic players and the black players before them didn't get a chance. You know what I mean? So he was such a barrier breaker in a literal sense, and in a sense of like breaking down color barriers and doing all of that stuff that sounds so cliche, but it's so true. We take advantage. We look at it as like this weird thing now, but it's so very true that he really was the first to really tackle that at such a big level. And obviously Branch Rickey is super important and all that as well. So Jackie Robinson will always have a sweet spot in my heart, and he's probably, like I said, my favorite player ever. Not statistically or anything like that, but just all in all, everything, the whole story, his numbers. He's my favorite.
Yeah, actually, one kind of cool guest. I've heard him speak before, but I'm gonna forget his name, so that kind of tells you something. How bad I am on this still is that they had the president of the Negro League Baseball Museum. The president, the current president, he was on the K Rod show talking about Jackie Robinson Day. And what he claimed, and I believe this to be true if you think about the timing, is that Jackie Robinson entering baseball as the first non white player was the spark that kind of lit the civil rights movement that led to really any sort of minority rights kind of came from his simple act of not fighting back and not responding to hatred with hatred. He responded to the hatred by pursuing to get better and again, let's not forget that he was good.
Yeah,
It wasn't that he just like said that Jake Robinson just endured all this stuff, but he endured it, and that also was very good.
yeah,
So, the idea that you can thrive under that much scrutiny, that much hatred, that much pressure, I think is essential to any sort of bravery that we should be condoning. And I think for baseball to have that day I think it's good for baseball. It's good for players. Every player will be wearing 42 on that day. They'll have no name on the back of their jersey on purpose. Every year, there's a Jackie Robinson Award winner. I think that's also really important too.
The Rookie of the Year
Uh,
is named after Jackie Robinson.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
because he
So,
was the first Rookie of the Year.
yep.
So it's so much of baseball has been shaped by him, but especially, and I said this, especially for America, not saying anywhere else, but for America, his presence and his role changed a lot. I mean, the fact that three Latinos can talk about baseball, like growing up playing it, and now we get to talk about other Latinos and minorities being able to thrive in baseball in society is credit to his act, his life.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah. I mean, and like I said, he left Brooklyn before they moved, or he left the Dodgers before they moved to LA.
yeah,
So they never got to see him on the West Coast like that. But dude, I mean, it was just a short time after that, like Campanella joins him on the Dodgers, and then there's this massive influx and massive rush of Latin players or black players, and then of course Latin players shortly after that. I mean, it was just it's so amazing, and if I've talked about it before, and I don't know if you guys have seen it or have access to it, but the baseball documentary made by Ken Burns. So he breaks it up in innings, right? So it's like the top of the first is like the creation of the sport. Bottom
right,
of the first is like the net. You know what I mean? So like I think it's the entire third inning, top and bottom, is spent on Jackie and then the Negro Leagues as a whole. I mean, it's mentioned before in the other innings and stuff, but it's really great. And then he also made another Jackie Robinson specific documentary for PBS that's available as well. That goes into like a more in depth story of him and his like personal life and his wife and like their life and his wife is still alive to this day,
yeah, yeah,
and his children are still alive, so they can tell stories of what it was like living in the household of somebody who was so revered and also so hated at the same time. What that had
yeah.
to have been like for them, and it's definitely worth a watch if anybody's interested. Both of those documentaries do a great job of covering the man.
Yeah, and I think we should recommend that just even if you know a story, even if you, as Ben talked about, the documentaries and the stories that you hear throughout your life, sitting down and also watching Chadwick Boseman play him in
Yeah.
42, there'd be, I think, something that we can say maybe you should watch it this weekend. You
It's a
know,
good movie too.
if you
Yeah,
have
I enjoy it.
if you have time, watch it. So, the last thing I'll say about it is that, again, when I was in Toronto, I got to go to their shop, and I got to. I mean, if you guys know me, I love hats. Like hats are my thing. I just mainly wear Cubs hats because I want to support my team or whatnot. But I got a Toronto hat for being there. But the main reason I got this hat was for this.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
It
Oh, that's
it
cool.
has it has the 42 patch on it, and I want to
Yeah, that's
remember
nice.
where was that the year of the 75th anniversary.
That's
So
cool.
that's why I got this hat. So I think it's just really important for us to remember, acknowledge even on this podcast. I know we'll acknowledge it on Instagram and everywhere else. But yeah, so also the Dodgers, the team he played for, their team will be playing on Friday Night Baseball. I think it's 9 o'clock Central, so it's pretty late. But Dodgers will be on national TV as well
Who are they
to
playing?
celebrate the Reds.
Oh, good. I was gonna say they should give them a cupcake game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, give them the Reds, give them the Pirates. Apparently, give them the Brewers. Anybody but the Cubs, baby.
yeah. I mean the Reds got some wins against Atlanta, so and they got Hunter Green. They're at over 100, so
Dude, did you see?
that's
So
fine.
it was college. There's that kid on Tennessee, Ben Joyce.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, he threw back-to-back 104-mile-an-hour pitches. Only 2 other players have ever done that, and that was, I think, Chapman and Jordan Hicks. That's insane.
Man.
So Dave and I were talking about it, and he was like, if I'm that kid, I'm quitting now, like leaving the season. Everybody's seen what I got. Like that, I'm just chucking cheese. Like I'm getting up there and I'm just pumping Ched, right?
Senor
So
cheese.
yeah, just go get Tommy John now, which you know you're gonna need, and then leave now so that you save your arm. Go get the Tommy John, bam, you come back, start of next season, drafted, ready to rock. That's disgusting. Guys, I mean, throw so hard.
104 is insane.
I've never driven a car that fast. I don't think.
Well,
No, I'm a dude. If anything, I'm a grandpa driver. I go 75 at the most on the highway. People
I
do
go
not like drive.
5 over, and that's it.
Okay, there you go. And then Dallas, what do you go?
Fast. Look
Welcome
at him.
to Dallas goes. Welcome to the family. F10.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dallas, would you still have a Tokyo Drift car right now if you could? I want
Nah, man.
spoilers.
Honestly, I just want a truck, man.
Why?
Good.
What are you carrying?
Honestly, dude, you'd be surprised.
You know, it seems weird.
He's
always
carrying
weird to
his
me.
baggage.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah. The emotional baggage,
only-
you might need a semi for that, brother.
It's only when you guys need a truck, you're like, I wish I
Wish you
had
had somebody with a truck. Okay, but what I'm saying
I
is, like,
got
it's
family.
weird. It's weird if a dentist owns a pickup
So
truck.
somebody has to have the truck, right? Family?
Yeah, in the family.
In the family.
That's right.
No, but like if a dentist has a pickup truck,
Yeah.
it's like, bro, what are you putting back there? Teeth?
Bodies.
Maybe.
Bodies? That's what I'm
Can you
saying. Like,
imagine? Can you imagine boxes of teeth, bro?
do you know how many teeth do you think it would take to fill the bed of a truck?
It's got to be 1 million. What do you think?
Dude, probably more than that.
1 million teeth.
How many teeth do we have in our mouth? Like 24 at the most?
Look, are we talking like
We have 30.
pediatric
30, okay.
teeth, like little
I have less
giblets,
teeth
or
than
are we
you, Jake.
talking like which teeth are we talking about?
So you guys had good teeth growing up. Remember, I had to get braces, and I had braces on my teeth for eons. I was showing.
Jake was supposed to get braces.
I was supposed to get braces when I was in high school, and then I just didn't.
It was probably because it was expensive.
Yeah,
money for us was never, an
never
easy
available.
thing. That's why I had braces on my teeth and not an orthodontist for a decade. Like they were just on my teeth, not getting tightened, not doing anything. Just so I used to take photos like this. Yeah. Just so the shininess of the braces looked like I had a grill like Paul Wall. That is an honest to God joke. The last family portrait, I'm like in the middle, right? So Dan, then me, then Viviana. And I'm just like just so it looked like I had a grill.
People were catching a cold front when you took that deep breath.
Great song.
Terrible song.
That or Air Force Ones, which is a better song?
They're equally terrible, but Air Force Ones was influential.
What about Banging in My White Teeth? Slanging in My White Teeth.
Nobody knows any word of any part of like a verse.
How about Lean with it, Rock with it?
Oh no, that's gonna be played on the oldies stations.
Who was them Franchise Boys? What song did they have?
Them Franchise Boys.
Who had Laffy Taffy?
That's D4L.
Jeez, you know so many of those terrible rap groups from 2000 to 2010.
Dude, on the way back up, or the way back down from Illinois, I was jamming to early 2000s hip hop, and I didn't realize how all they talked about was fighting people / killing people, talking about women terribly, and then talking about their whips.
Dude, and the best thing is we were 12 years old at the bus stop, rapping along with them, and word for word, baby. Not every word though.
By Ludacris.
Not every word.
Lyrics was just about messing people up too.
Yes,
I mean,
dude.
I mean, the one song that captures it is "Nuck If You Buck."
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Nuck If You Buck. All right,
dude.
So
sorry, go ahead.
No, Ben, one. We have another. Keep going. I'm
Yeah, I
excited.
have word for word. I can remember every single lyric to "Get Rich or Die Trying."
Yeah,
Oh, it's fantastic.
me
Dude, it's
too.
still an absolute like front to back. If I'm taking a car, like I used to drive up from Springfield, it's like 3.5, 4 hour drive. I would plan it out so that I had like two Menzingers albums, which are each about an hour long. So that's like, bam, that's half the trip gone. And then guaranteed one was Get Rich or Die Trying, which is an hour, and then just a mix of whatever for the last hour. But I had to have Get Rich or Die Trying on my any long car ride because I know
It's a
every
fun
lyric
album.
to every song on that entire album.
Best song from
Masterpiece.
that. Best song from the album.
Patiently waiting.
Patiently Waiting is absolutely
100%.
right. But
Yeah,
Many Men is hilarious, and it kind of came back around when Trump had COVID. There was a
yeah.
tweet that came out. It was like Many Men. It was the song playing in the background when he got off the helicopter at the
No
hospital.
way.
Yeah, dude,
He
you
was
should find it.
playing a
It's
50 Cent song?
no, he wasn't. Somebody made a tweet playing the song in
Oh.
the background. Dude, if Trump started playing a 50 Cent song, I would think the world was literally coming to an end at that point.
No, man, that's actually when I was under the impression for about 3 seconds. I was like, okay.
Many
Okay.
Men.
All right. So
Mm-mm-mm.
See.
why don't we end by just having quick takes of the week? And Ben, why don't you start us off? A Chicago sports team. What is your take of this week?
So the Bulls, I've been talking about them since we started, basically as much as I could, and ever since they've been terrible. So now this is the last step. They're going to get swept in the playoffs. They play the Bucks the first round, so we'll lose 4 straight, and they'll have an early summer. But Lonzo will be back next
So
year.
hopeful.
Hopefully we make some good moves in the offseason, and we tighten it up. But it'll be a short couple weeks here for the Bulls, 4 games, and then you won't have to hear any more Bulls talk until next season.
And Dallas, what's your take of the week?
Just excited for the Cubs to be back, baby. 97 wins, right, Benny?
Boom.
Bomb.
No more,
All
no
right.
less. No more, no less.
We'll check back in on that pretty soon. I'm sure pretty soon that will not be realistic.
We'll check in on that one.
What do you think by middle of May when they're in 4th place and they've won 10 games at that point?
They
I
haven't
mean,
won anymore.
They're 10 and 37, and we're like, okay, maybe they're just going to go on an 87 game win streak. It's fine. It's been
Knock
done
it out.
before. Look at the Indian or the Guardians last year, or the A's
yeah,
before that.
yeah, definitely. No, my take of the week is, I mean, yeah, the easiest answer is the Cubs. I'm excited for, honestly, I'm mainly excited for people to actually watch the Cubs for Suzuki.
Yeah,
I'm excited for them to get some exposure, get some be on some national TV occasionally.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. So that's it's the easiest take of the week. Is that on opening weekend? I'll pick the Cubs. So
there
yeah,
you go.
and that's going to wrap up episode 17 of the On Family Based podcast. Again, my name is Jake.
I'm Tallywell.
Yeah, that's terrible. I'm Ben, and shout out Dan. We miss you.
Yeah, I feel like that's
R.I.P.
Yes, exactly. He is
Yeah.
not dead. But
Still, I mean, we tried after this weekend on Saturday. We put enough beer in him to take down a good number of people, and he
right
was
now.
standing. He was standing. He was.
I'm glad he is
up?
gone.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
He's very
So
much
again,
alive.
yeah, he's very
And
much
slow.
alive, and we're gonna be coming back next week. If you guys check us out on Instagram, on Twitter, and also check out the Facebook page. Our Instagram and Twitter handles are Family Bases, like the actual baseball bases pod. Family Base Pod. Check us out there. Also, we post clips on TikTok. So if you guys are TikTokers,
We're gonna do a dance video next time. We're all together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You guys
with our
will
shirts
definitely-
off.
All right, that's
Nah,
I'm not committing.
Just pants. Just pants.
No, you're gonna go Winnie the Pooh. Shirts on, pants off.
Shirts on, pants off.
Right. Yeah, so look for that. Have fun waiting for that.
Yeah, on the 12th of Never. There we go.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys next week.
On the 30th of
Bye.
February. Bye.
Bye.